What it is, Ken Bulk. Welcome back. This video I wanted to pivot away from my camper and do something a little more lighthearted and fun and short so I could get a win. I wanted to get the juices flowing again and complete a project. That camper has been going on for years now, and I just needed something to boost my ego, you know what I mean? So apparently they say that, a mark of a professional craftsman is his ability to make a sawhorse. So that's what I'm doing today. And I wanted it to kind of commemorate the last 10 years I've spent in the trades and represent three characteristics that I think are super vital and helpful to being in that area or that profession. And those are being multifaceted, multi-purposed, jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes a better than a master of one, And then, excuse the wind. I wanted to be resourceful. If you can't tell, I've gathered a fair amount of junk, which I actually think is not junk, it's treasure. And I really want to put it to use. I've had ideas percolating in the back of my mind for all this stuff for a while now, and it's time to actually put them into practice. And this is a great project to do that. And then 3, I want them to look good. Form equals function in my world. A lot of what we see in the modern area is function over form, but that does not work. It's got to have that, je ne sais quoi quality to it, and that's what I'm aiming for here. So, if that's something you're interested in, let's get to it. What up, y'all? Again, if you made it this far into my video, I just want to say thank you. You's a real one, a certified G. I appreciate that likes, shares, subscribes, any support you show me. And I just want to validate that you's a homie. So on that note, let me introduce today's topic of conversation, which is around support and validation, and the importance of cultivating each one of these, especially in the workplace environment. In my time doing home remodeling, I found that there was a stigma around giving that to others, especially for those with male genitalia. There seemed to be a belief that once you've reached a certain age, like once you've gotten past the age of 8 years old, you no longer need people to tell you that you're doing a good job and that you're appreciated and cared for, which, man, I am here to debunk that ish. That is not true. I mean, for one, speaking for myself, I absolutely can stand on that and say that I'm always thankful for people who have genuine respect and admiration for what I do. And let me be clear here. I'm not talking about handing out participation trophies or some patronizing pat on the back mixed in with a good job, buddy. Fuck that shit. But just giving credit where credit is due, because, I mean, that's what a good boss would do, right? Or a good leader. Not sure I believe in the term boss. There's this quote from a Toro y Moi song called Freelance that goes, "Nothing's worse than work unnoticed." And I could not agree more. It is so disheartening and discouraging to be in an environment where it's normal to be passively dismissed as just some wage slave in a petty tyrant's game. Or even having coworkers who actively try to tear you down by sabotaging and dismantling work that you just produced so you would look bad to the higher-ups. Both of these situations I've been in, and I know I'm not alone. For example, my mentor, who had worked for this particular company for decades, 2 at least, came to me one day in tears, which was super surprising because this was like a grown-ass man, and in our culture, big girls don't cry, right? Or boys, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, he is one solid guy, Mr. Dependable, who was never sick, always on time, and always got the job done, right? But for whatever reason, I can't remember exactly on that day, I don't think it really matters because there's 1,000 other reasons I can think of that would have made me broke down before. It was just the final straw for him, I guess. He just cracked and had to let the floodgates open a bit. And that's another thing, if you happen to have all these pent-up emotions, it is okay to cry, y'all. Like, despite what all those grizzly voiced country singers say, whiskey women and suffering in silence are not the only remedies. In fact, they're not remedies at all. You gotta feel it to heal it. It'll do you good. Don't get constipated with all those frustrations and discouragements and whatever else might be tearing you down. But obviously, do it around good company or someplace you feel safe. And honestly, I am so honored that my mentor felt safe enough to do it around me, truly. And to me is a great example of why I don't believe in bosses or hierarchies for that matter, in the terms that giving and receiving is only a one-way street. We're all human, and I do believe that vulnerability can save lives. But without a shadow of a doubt, that experience with my mentor saved me from experiencing years of being in a toxic environment. Because I can pin that moment as the catalyst that something needed to change. There was no growth here. There was no opportunity for upward mobility. This was a broke system with a bad boss. And God bless. I am so tired of Jack, John, Uncle Brothers, man. Really though, where have all the good leaders gone? Surely they're not just mythological creatures in movies and books. And the real world is reserved for some type of reservoir dog antics where we're all turning on each other, fighting for scraps and survival. Unfortunately, these unhealthy workplace dynamics portend to even bigger problems, which in my view is that we live in an emotionally retarded culture. We are stunted in our ability to emotionally process and resolve internal conflict. Anything outside of a Krusty Krab response of either anger or arrogance is seen as weak or useless, especially in a culture whose only mottos are "don't be a bitch" or "we gotta meet the bottom line." These overly masculine ideals keep us as bottom feeders, forcing us to cope in ways that go against our highest good. Unfortunately, these ideals trickle down into the family where worth and value is reserved only for productivity and what you can provide, which leaves little room for unconditional love and positive regard. And both of these are God-given. You do not need to earn this. It is your birthright to feel good and prosper simply for just being you. And if nobody has told you they love you today, let me be the first. I friggin' love you. Thank you for letting me air out my dirty laundry. Apparently I needed it. But let me wrangle in that rancor, because the point of this video is to give support to, if you're trying to break free of systems like that or are working through tough emotions. I'm here to back you up because I know that struggle all too well. For years, most of my life really, I did not know how to identify what I was feeling, let alone feel safe enough for any raw expression. And let me tell you what, that is a recipe for disaster and depression. So if you can resonate with that, or you see yourself stuck in a limited form of expression like anger, it's okay. Just know it doesn't have to be that way. Emotional processing is a skill you can learn and develop, and is actually the key that got me out of that matrix mindset where you're just stuck on a loop of thank God it's Friday and oh God it's Monday. The only way out seems to be either hitting the lottery or getting a promotion, and that's not the way it works, or at least it wasn't in my experience. You got to promote yourself. I know a lot of people think you can't love what you do, or at least make money at it, but I beg to differ. My only desire here is for you to believe that you can do what you love. Whether or not that's for work is up to you. Regardless, I think it is essential to pursue your passion and have dreams and ideals about how you'd like your life to look. Viktor Frankl, who was an Austrian psychologist and philosopher who survived the Holocaust and the father of logotherapy, also believed that, yes, while suffering and bad bosses and beyond do exist, it is our great life's work to prove that the opposite also exists. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he outlined 3 ways in which we can create that sense of meaning in our lives. 1, being creative expression or achievement, kind of like I'm doing here with these sawhorses. 2, to experience love or experience anything really, like hate. You know, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. So if you learn what you hate, then in fact you learn more of what you love. Hope that made sense. Basically, don't check out or numb out. You gotta grow through what you go through, type of thing, you know? And the third and final way, which kind of plays off that, is attitude or character development. Learning how to build resilience and the type of person you want to become in the face of suffering. I know, easier said than done, but again, just remember, you got the juice. Juice? Anyway, the secret sauce to your success, or the formula to your fulfillment, lies within you. And so, shoot your shot, son. See what happens. It's okay to miss. You gotta get messy to be like Messi. You heard? If not, no worries. I hope you did find something in there that was helpful. If anything, I want you to go forth and create just for the sake of creation, you know? Do something just for the fun of it and enjoy yourself because you deserve it. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace, love, and all the good things.